And good afternoon. Welcome to the booth with Daren Todd on KDX AM 1590. I'm here with a couple special guests I'm very excited about today. Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman, they're involved with the Paint the Town project. We're talking a little bit about the specific program or project that's going on in Kennett, but Katie is renowned throughout Southeast Missouri and now I think Northeast Arkansas for her painting. First of all, thank you very much and welcome to the booth.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
And again, tell me a little bit, Paige, if you can. Can I call you Paige?
Absolutely.
Paige, tell me a little bit about the Paint the Town project and what kind of got you involved in that.
This started with a good friend at dinner, and we had just ran a 5K in Rector and noticed all the beautiful murals in downtown Rector, and we just kind of laughed and thought, goodness, why can we not have that? Why can we not have that here? So basically just started with the conversation. She ended up moving, and I thought, we can still do this. And so we just kind of put together a crew of our motley crew of friends, and that's basically how it started.
And again, we're here. Welcome to the booth with Daren Todd on KDX AM 1590, talking to Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman a little bit about the Paint the Town project. And Katie, I have been snooping on your website. I must admit, I'm very impressed. Tell the listeners a little bit about you. Where are you from? What kind of training do you have in regards to painting and things of that nature?
Well, thank you. I have lived in Dexter my whole life. I'm 26 years old. I have a boyfriend. We've been together for 7 years on Wednesday.
Oh, outstanding. Congratulations.
And I just bought my house last year. I'm excited. But I graduated from high school in 2017 in Dexter, and then I went to Three Rivers in Dexter and in Poplar Bluff, and I graduated there in 2019 with my associates in art. And that was really like the first time I ever painted. Like I did like color pencils and stuff in art class, but I never painted. So that was brand new to me. And then as soon as I graduated from Three Rivers, I posted on Facebook, like, if anybody wants anything, I'm doing it. And ever since then, like every weekend, because I still work at WW during the week in Dudley. And then every weekend since then, I've been painting something. I did canvas work at first, and then in 2022, I did my first mural, and then ever since then, I've been doing murals like every weekend.
And in talking a little bit about the murals, over here with Katie Coleman and Paige Mcormick talking about Paint the Town. And Katie, I went through your Facebook page, and I noticed that you've done numerous things. There's quite a bit of stuff in Dexter, I think, at the gallery at the time.
Yeah.
You've also done some stuff in Jonesboro now. You've also done some stuff in Kennett. Tell the people, where all have you painted, and what kind of stuff do you like to do as far as the murals?
I've done all kinds of different paintings. I've done like more realistic, more abstract. I've done so many different towns. It's crazy. I never even went anywhere before. I'm a homebody, and getting to do this, I've got to go to like Jonesboro, like you said, for the first time out of state to paint last weekend, and that was really fun. And I think like my favorite things to paint are like people, realistic stuff, but I'm down to do anything.
And again, we're here with Katie Coleman and Paige Mcormick talking about Paint the Town on KDX AM 1590. Welcome to the booth with Daren Todd. And Paige, how did you get contacted, or how did you get connected with Katie, and how did you bring her into the Kennett area to start these murals?
Yeah, so that was obviously our first order of business, was to look at muralists. She had recently painted inside and outside, am I right, the daycare on Emerson Street.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so somebody had given me her name, and she was the one that appealed to us most, just for all the reasons. Her availability, her cost, the closeness. She's just in Dexter, and so that was nice. And again, her work and what she came up with for us to use. So we're thrilled she stuck with us this long.
And again, we're here with Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman talking a little bit about Paint the Town. Obviously, Katie's very talented. You can follow her on her Facebook page if you have anything that you need painted, muralist. I saw where she's also painted some vehicles, I think, in the past and things of that nature. Done numerous things throughout all Southeast Missouri and Northeast Arkansas. Paige, let me ask you this. Whenever you decided that we were going to do Paint the Town here in Kennett, and it was something that you and a friend came up with after running a 5K. Don't look at me when you're judging me about my 5Ks, but we'll move on and talk about that a little later. How do you decide what the mural is going to be?
Right. So it depends on location, and we always want to keep it with, something that involves Kennett and its history. So depending on where we would have it, like for instance, we had one done at a boutique. We like to make that more fun, but we used like local, flowers or trees to kind of, again, just sort of put that Kennett touch on it, but yet since it's on a boutique, sort of make it more of a fun and hey, let's get our picture behind it sort of thing. But the one that we started with the bistro, we wanted to do primarily everything that we think about when we think about Kennett. So we focused on like history, the agriculture, the economic aspect, things like that. That was going on in a restaurant. With what we did several in an alley, and we wanted to focus on kind of like the young group. We thought maybe a selfie wall in the alley. So they're not, well, besides the moth, it's pretty detailed, but there are a couple that are not quite as detailed and large, but again, it was on purpose, thinking about that young sort of demographic.
And again, we're here with Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman, talking a little bit about Paint the Town on KDX AM 1590. Welcome to the booth with Daren Todd. And one thing that I've seen as I'm sitting there, and you're going to find this humorous, whenever I get my hair cut from Mr. Ron Harris, I can look right across the street and I can see that mural. And I think that Mr. Harris had reached out and talked to Katie numerous times about her painting. And one thing he pointed out to me was there was something that I think is very symbolic of Kennett, and I think it's very unique, and that's the mosquito. And I think that's kind of a whimsical thing, but is that on all the murals here in town?
We left it off of maybe one. Is that right?
Just we put it on the boutique one. We just didn't put it on the sports one.
We have intentions, though, of sticking that in there. So just wait.
And again, whose idea was that?
I don't think we started off with that idea.
Now Katie is pointing at you, Paige.
I love it. If you ask anybody on the committee, they'll crack up and say, because I'm, corny, and I just think it's if
cute.
There was one thing we could identify about Kennett, I think we could all agree that the mosquitoes are just everywhere. So,
and I say that because the detail and the absolute spectacular ability of all the work is just unbelievable. Katie, in talking a little bit about your paintings of other places, you've done some stuff in Dexter, is that correct?
Yeah, that's like where I started. That's where I probably say most of them are, but Kennett is catching up.
And just tell the people, here again, we're on Welcome to the Booth on KDX AM 1590 with Daren Todd, and we're talking to Katie Coleman and Paige Mcormick, Paint the Town. Katie's a very talented artist from the Dexter area who's been doing some murals here in Kennett now, but has done numerous murals in the city of Dexter. Just tell us a little bit about some of the places that you've done some murals and some of the work in Stoddard County and other places.
In Dexter, that's where I first started. The first one I did was on Canine Biz in Dexter, and it's like a wall full of dogs and like their service animals, so like the Dalmatian for firefighters and just regular service dogs and pets and dogs that you can train to find people that are missing and everything. So I did all that, and I've done one on Dexter Queen. I love that one. That was fun. He kind of just let me do whatever I wanted to do. He's like, as long as it has to do with the theme. And I was like, he said it wanted to be Dexter but with the theme, and I said, what if we do pigs with like the sports stuff on, like Dexter Bearcat stuff. So we did like basketball, football, and I love that one. I think it's cute. And what else?
Let me ask you this. Have you done some stuff for the school there in Dexter as well?
Yes, I did the middle school a couple weeks ago, so that was fun, getting to go back in the building and just look around.
And that's the middle school there in Dexter. What kind of painting or mural did you put in the Dexter school?
And there, it was kind of like the Kennett one downtown. Like we did the letters of Bearcats, and we put stuff that the school does in each side of the letters, like Beta Club and all the sports and art and everything they have.
And again, we're here on Welcome to the Booth with Daren Todd on KDX AM 1590, talking to Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman, a very talented artist from Dexter. Paige, tell us a little bit about the Paint the Town Committee and a little bit about who's involved with that, if you would.
Sure. We have about 12. It's Jill Rickman, it's Blair Mobley, Katie Shear, Marianne Wright, Anel Harris, Crystal Harisicos, Aaron Pryor, George Panusis, Gunnar Smith, Jana Hampton, Malia Lack, Meg Mobley, Sam Elliott, Vicky Panusis, and Sally McVeigh.
And if we wanted to follow you, is there also a Facebook page for Paint the Town?
There is. And it's just called simply that, Paint the Town Kennett.
When you went out on the extreme of, hey, let's think of some exotic Facebook type situation. Let's go with Paint the Town.
Paint the Town. I don't really know where that came up with. Probably some country song, but absolutely.
I think, though, it speaks exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to beautify the area. You're trying to say, hey, let's take, some of our history, preserve it, put it on these walls, and do it that nature. Is that correct?
Yeah, we think we hope to do that. People will maybe want to appreciate downtown a little bit more, take more pictures, and maybe just bring a little bit more excitement to downtown and appreciate, what we did have, what we do have, and maybe get hopeful about what's to come.
And if I wanted to contact Paint the Town and I said, hey, I've got a mural or a wall that I wanted to paint, I could contact who?
You could contact any one of us, but please, feel free to contact me personally. We'd love to hear from you.
And again, we're here with Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman on Paint the Town, KDX AM 1590. Welcome to the booth with Daren Todd, talking a little bit about the projects. Paige, and I would be remiss if I didn't. The first time I noticed what was going on, it was a frigid day. I don't even know if it felt like it was January to me. And there was a scaffolding set up because the street out in front of the License Bureau here on the square had kind of been closed down, and a scaffolding. And the next thing I know is you're sitting in a chair and there's this young lady climbing up this scaffolding beginning to paint. That's the first time I've noticed. Kind of explain the process of what that painting was.
Well, that one definitely took a little bit extra effort, and again, by a lot of local people. Definitely took a village. We had some city people from the city help us out with the scaffolding. We had a bucket chair that had to be brought in the night before. Katie will trace it the night before using a projector, and it takes a couple hours. And of course, she's doing the tall climbing. I'm merely supervising. Then the next couple of days, she'll do the painting and bring it to life. The first time she did this, she always laughs when I tell her this. It scared me to death. She had traced this out, and I thought, oh my goodness, what have we gotten into? Somehow, though, when she gets that paint in her hand, it just, like I said, it just comes to life. She brings out all the details. So, but it's a process. Like I said, we have to get, the lights turned out. The city gets our lights turned out on that particular road. The street department, again, blocks off the street. We have to, the police department will come and supervise it. It definitely takes a lot of hands.
And if we were counting, and again, I hate to put you on the spot again, we're here and welcome to the booth with Daren Todd on KDX AM 1590, talking to Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman a little bit about Paint the Town. How many murals has Paint the Town here in Kennett been able to do?
It's been like 8, if we're counting those 3 separate ones.
Yes.
Right.
And so there's been 8. Obviously, there's more in the works, I'm assuming. Is that correct?
We have one coming Fall into Arts Weekend.
And let's talk a little bit about Fall into Arts Weekend. I know that that's a big time for Paint the Town. Again, talking to Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman on KDX AM 1590. Tell me a little bit about what the plans are for the September 6th Fall into Arts Weekend for Paint the Town.
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to. That is our big weekend. It's our fundraising, and this weekend this year is extra special for us because we have our next mural. It's going to be painted on the side of the Opera House, the west side, obviously, facing the post office. And I'm more excited about this one, I think, than ever. It will be a stamped timeline, and it's going to be sketched out by a local artist, Susan Baker, and it's going to highlight decades throughout Kennett's history. And Katie will be drawing that Friday, Saturday, and maybe Sunday. It just varies on how far along, of course, she is, but she'll start tracing that Thursday night. And then our fundraiser is Saturday.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but let me ask you. So during the actual Fallen Hearts weekend, Katie's actually going to be
Yeah.
painting this. Oh, that's
Yes.
amazing.
That'll be fun.
So
We're excited.
And then I cut you off. I apologize,
No, you're
but
fine.
I hear neat, interesting things, and I always like to talk.
Yeah.
Again, we're here with Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman on Welcome to the Loop with Daren Todd on KDX AM 1590. So the plan is Fallen Arts Weekend, September 6th. Katie's going to start Thursday and then work Friday, Saturday, and see where she's at Sunday. And then tell me a little bit about the fundraiser before I cut you off, because I think it's very important for individuals to know how can they help with the Paint the Town project.
Sure. There's one of two ways you can obviously sign up and be a part of the Color Run Walk, and it will take you. It's simply 1 mile. I usually walk it, so I can check out all the art and see everybody in there. I just love to see who all's there. But anyway, you're going to get splashed with color if you want, by some fun paint groups, middle school cheerleaders, high school teachers. Some high school students will be there, but you'll end right before you'll end at the Presbyterian Church, and the idea is to just simply walk over to the festival after that if you want. So you can again sign up for the fun run, or you can take out a sponsorship. And if you take out a sponsorship, we will post your sponsorship with a yard sign right outside the courthouse. So.
And if I wanted to be a sponsor, or if I wanted to sign up, how would I do that?
By simply contacting somebody on the committee. And again, you're welcome to contact me.
Paige Mcormick from Paint the Town on KDX AM 1590. Welcome to the Loop with Daren Todd. Katie, I want to talk a little bit about you and your ability as an artist. When did you realize that you were more talented than most in regards to painting? I mean, I know that my mother and father did an excellent job of everything I took home from school, saying it was the best art they've ever seen, but they didn't really mean it.
Oh.
And when I say that some of your stuff is truly amazing, it is absolutely amazing. When did you realize that you had a gift that was beyond most?
I wouldn't say I realized that, but like I always loved doing anything art, like when I was little, coloring books, anything like that. And then I took art all 4 years in high school, and the art teacher I had was definitely like, would tell you if you sucked. Like,
I understand.
So like after you would do something, you'd have to hang it up on the wall and look at the like original picture and fix everything you did wrong. So I got very used to doing that, him being like, no, this. And he told me my senior year, like, I really didn't think you had any potential. I was like, oh, okay. But
Well, I think maybe he was just trying to get the best out of you. You think?
Yeah. So that was good. I'm glad he did. It taught me how to like fix my work along the way, and I feel like it always takes practice. I've gotten better and better, and I still look at stuff I've done a year ago and be like, oh, I hate it. I wish I could fix it, but
Well, I think anyone who is extremely talented is never probably happy with their final project, even though it's absolutely amazing. And again, we're here with Katie Coleman and Paige Mcormick on Welcome to the Booth with Daren Todd on KDX AM 1590. Talking a little bit about Paint the Town. We're talking about the artist who's making these murals come to life. Katie, in regards to your painting and things of that nature, was there something that prompted you to get more into the murals and the actual full-size paintings that you're doing now?
I really do like doing the murals. Like, I did like the canvas ones, but no offense, it is a little depressing because most of the canvas ones are like, this is my dead relative. So I'm always looking at dead people. But, I love doing that for people. It makes them feel connected to their person that's passed away. So I do love doing that. But the murals are fun because it's like, it could be something fun and bright and colorful. It doesn't have to be too serious. And just the big scale is fun and everything. So.
And in the event that I wanted to have a relative painted, or if I just wanted a picture of Mooring, because I always like Mooring. I like to hang it on the wall when we're not running 5Ks and I write Mooring. Absolutely. How would I get a hold of you? How can I contact Katie Coleman and say, would you be interested in doing this? And how do I proceed with that?
Most of my stuff I do on Facebook. That's the easiest way. Katie Coleman.
And you just send a message to Katie Coleman and say, hey, this is so-and-so. Please message me. This is my number. I have some stuff I'd like for you to look at, and go from there, correct?
Yep.
And again, we're here with Katie Coleman and Paige Mcormick, Paint the Town on KDX AM 1590. Welcome to the Booth with Daren Todd. And Paige, getting back to you, tell me a little bit about the Paint the Town committee, and again, some of the people in the group. How did y'all form this group, and how did it? I mean, I know that you had the idea and you kind of folded, and then it kind of molded into these 12 people. How did that happen?
I started off just contacting, honestly, just some good friends that had graduated from Kennett. And then when I felt like we needed to branch out with several more, I thought about 3 of my favorite students I had. And I contacted them. I contacted Meg Mobley and Anel Harris and Malia Lack, and I said, you need to be a part of this because you are energetic and young, and I think that you'll bring a lot of fun ideas to the table, and I feel like they have.
Absolutely. And again, talking about Paint the Town, there's been these 8 things painted, and we're expecting the one that's going to be done downtown over the September 6th Fall into Arts holiday. You indicated Susan Baker. Susan Baker was a longtime art teacher. Is that correct here in Kennett?
Yes, sir. She was mine.
And tell me a little bit about that. I think I see a little gleam in your eye when you talk about Miss Baker. I mean, a lot of people have mentioned her love of the arts really led them to pursue a lot of things that they didn't think they could do just because she had encouraged them. Is that correct?
I think so. I think that Katie is really going to enjoy working with her. In fact, we're gonna meet her after this and go over some sketches because Susan is such a perfectionist. She's all about the detail, and she's local, and so I think that she took some time to really think about this because again, she's the top. If she's going to do something, she wants to do it. She wants to do it right, and so I think it's going to be a good team, really. And again, she was my art teacher, and I know that she's going to put a lot of effort into it. So.
And you indicated the sketch was going to be a timeline, and I kind of cut you off because I heard something that was kind of explain to the people a little bit more about the timeline philosophy. How did y'all come up with that idea and how you're going to incorporate it into that mural?
Well, I should have elaborated. It'll be a stamped timeline since it's across from the post office. Each decade will look like a stamp. And so if it's, if we're doing 1940 to 1950 era, it'll look like the date would on the stamp. We thought that would be a neat idea since it was across, of course, from the post office. And so that's going to be how that looks. And then, of course, the last one will be, it'll be more of a quote, a saying, sort of, here's our past. Now, think about how we're going to sort of, what are we going to do for the future type of thing.
Outstanding. And Katie, obviously I'm very excited. Are we going to see another scaffolding possibly set up for this? Have we discussed that yet?
I don't know yet. I haven't got to hear the whole story yet.
So it's my understanding that you're going to get together and decide what's going to happen one way or the other in regards to that. Katie, in talking a little bit more about your painting, did you do anything as far as any kind of training other than the Three Rivers, things of that nature? And I ask you that because if you'll remember, there was always the International Art School that always wanted me to draw that turtle. And if I'd send it in and they would say my work's good enough to do, you know what I'm talking about?
No clue.
Obviously, I'm dating my age here. Mooring is shaking his head. He knows what I'm talking about. I always tried to draw that turtle, and they sent it back and said, why are you sending us a picture of a fish? So was there any other thing? And again, we're here with Katie Coleman and Paige Mcormick on Welcome to the Booth with Daren Todd on KDX AM 1590, talking about Paint the Town. Talking about Katie. Again, Katie's a very talented artist from the Dexter area. If you want anything at all, you can get on her Facebook page, Katie Coleman, message her. Obviously, we had talked a little bit about, have you taken any kind of special training or anything in that regards, Katie?
No, I did Three Rivers, and that was fun. But really, I think the high school teacher really just set me right.
And in regards to that, when you're not doing murals, what do you like to do in your free time?
I don't have any free time. Right now I work at WW part-time. I do that 3 days a week. And then I'm painting, I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday there. And that's 11-hour days. And then I usually do something Thursday night, draw it out, prep the mural. And then I'm painting Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So my day off is Monday. And
again, we're talking to Katie Coleman and Paige Mcormick on Paint the Town on Welcome to the Booth with Daren Todd on KDX AM 1590. And you say it so nonchalantly. You say, I draw it out, and then I paint it. And again, is it a actual full-blown sketch, or is it just a rough idea? Is it exactly how it's wanted to look? It's kind of explain to the people, because again, your talent is unbelievable, and I want them to understand exactly what's going on. And we're going to try to give them some of the addresses of some places they go to see your work. And a lot of it's on the Facebook page. Is that correct?
I post everything, and some of them I got to record time-lapse videos too, so that's fun. I like doing those. But when it's hot outside, I don't want my phone to cook out in the sun trying to record it. But for the drawing it out, the sketching out, like, they usually send me the pictures that they're wanting, and we, like, tweak it a little, do whatever we want to do with it. And then that Thursday night, once it gets dark enough, I project it on the wall and whip out my Sharpie and just sketch what I need to see for the most part, not super detailed, and then come back and I stare at my phone the whole day, looking at the picture, going off of that, painting the whole day.
And let's talk a little bit about the picture that was on the license bureau. Was that where it was, Paige in Kennett? It's a large mural, and you say that you sketched it out. Did you just freehand that sketch?
No, we projected that one too. She got the bucket truck from somebody, and we lifted that up and put the projector inside the bucket truck, and then I was on the scaffolding sketching it out that night.
And again, you're making this sound so nonchalant. And again, we're here on Welcome to the Booth with Daren Todd on KDX AM 1590, talking with Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman of Paint the Town. Talking a little bit about Katie and some of her murals that she's drawn and things of that nature. And of course, it was about 6 degrees that day, wasn't it?
Well, it was in May. It was the beginning of May, but I was freezing. I'm cold all the time, so I was bundled up.
Why did I think it was in January?
It was cold outside. I was bundled up.
It was cold. It was.
It was very cold. I don't know. The days all run together when you get my age. I don't. So we're talking a little bit more. Paige, tell me about what the plans are for Paint the Town. Is there going to be a booth or something set up at the September 6th Fall into Arts that we can come by and talk to the members of the organization and so forth?
Yeah. We will actually be right beside Katie as she is painting, and we will have T-shirts, and we're thinking maybe tote bags to sell, or if there's questions that we can answer, or even if you have an idea, we love to hear ideas. We had at one time put out a Google form, but you know how those things go, just not a lot of response. So come by and just talk to us, let us know. Anyway, if you have some neat ideas, we'd love to hear them. So,
and let me ask you this, Paige, have you, and again, this is a weird question, but I'm always full of weird questions, and I'm just kind of thinking out loud. When you drive around the town or you go to other places, do you say that building would be awesome to have a mural on it?
I do, all the time. Our next, we're hoping that in first weekend in May, we're going to do Cornerstone. If you've noticed, he has cleared out all the scrapes off his building.
Yes.
And so to answer your question, yes, all the time.
And let me ask you this. I know you. We've known each other for a long time. I'm assuming that you're not afraid to go in and say, you know what, I have a great idea for your wall. Let me talk to you about it. Is that correct?
I'm not. And it is crazy the responses you get. They're all, yes, I've never thought of it. Absolutely. They're all positive. They really are.
And again, we're here with Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman, talking a little bit about Paint the Town. Katie's a very talented artist. Katie Coleman, very talented artist from Dexter, who has a very interesting Facebook page in which you can see all of her work. Katie, how did you wind up getting all the way to Jonesboro to do that massive mural on the wall there?
It was massive. I think it was like they posted like a contest thing on Facebook, and I submitted some pictures of my work, and I got to like the finalist stage, and they're like, "You're too far away." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then one of the people on the committee, I guess, saw it anyway and was like, "No." And they messaged me, and they were like, "Hey, we want you to do this." And I was like, "Okay."
And again, you're just like, hey, I woke up one day and I started painting. And let's talk a little about this Jonesboro mural. And again, for those who don't know it, approximately how big was this mural?
I didn't measure it. I wanted to measure it. It was huge. And just like the bricks.
Just a guesstimate.
I don't know. It was like, I know the building was 2 stories and they didn't go full height, but it was huge. I don't know. I'm not good at sizes, but it was really big, and like, the bricks were hard to paint on, and the sun hit the building the whole day. Like, it did not go behind a building, so I was getting cooked. I had my 100 SPF on, my sun hat on. I was ready.
I understand. And you were painting there in Jonesboro. How long did it take you to do that mural in Jonesboro?
It took 60.5 hours.
And explain to the listeners, again, we're here on KDX AM 1590. Welcome to the Booth with Daren Todd, with Paige Mcormick from Paint the Town, and Katie Coleman, a very talented artist who's lending her talents to Paint the Town, originally from Dexter. Still live in Dexter, is that correct?
Yep.
Dexter native. you indicated it took you 60 hours to paint this mural in Jonesboro. How did you break that up? How many hours a day were you painting?
Well, since I was still work at WW, it was on the weekends, and I did 12-hour days every day until it was done.
And you just started and just went 12 hours a day?
I got out there at 6 a.m., so I'd have at least like an hour of shade before the sun started hitting me, and then I just went at it. And like once you like start early, at least the sun doesn't feel as hot once you started early. You're like getting used to it versus if you threw me outside right now, I'd be like,
And let me ask you this, Katie, and I've always valued everything that Paige wanted to do. I just do what she tells me to. I know that she had my son last year in, was it English, Evan? Mm-hmm. And he had a little competition in which he wrote a essay, a veterans thing that he was lucky enough to win. And she said, Daren, Evan, we're going to go to the VFW, and we're going to have you present this. And Evan's like, I don't think I'm going to. And Miss McCormick said, yes, you're going to do it. And guess where we went? We went and did it. Is that correct, Paige?
That's correct. And by the way, he wasn't lucky. He's a beautiful writer. But
thank you very much for that. So, Katie, talk a little bit more about your painting in Jonesboro. What's your next big thing besides the Fall into Arts on September 6th? What do you got planned?
The next one is in Dexter, and Ashley Vansel, she's opening like an art gallery, so she's really going full on for the artists. Like inside, she's going to have canvas paintings and everything, art shows. I know she's having like grazing food things and art classes and everything, and she wants me to paint on the side of the building, so that's exciting.
And I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. You talked about Ashley Vansel's going to open up a art gallery. Is that correct, in Dexter? Where's it going to be located?
Just don't ask me directions. I know it's by the train depot thing.
Is it downtown?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be downtown, and if they want to know the directions, you're going to put the address on your Facebook page eventually, aren't you? Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
How did you get tied into Ashley?
She messaged me like she was posting looking for artists to put art inside the art show, and people were tagging me in it, and I said, hey, what is this like? What are you posting? What's it about? And she was like, I actually was going to message you about painting on the outside of the building. And I was like, perfect.
And have you started painting anything there yet?
No, we got the ideas. I bought the paint today, and then Thursday night I'll be drawing it out.
And again, we're here on Welcome to the Booth with Daren Todd on KDX AM 1590, talking to Paige Mcormick from Paint the Town and Katie Coleman. And Katie, again, as I indicated, Paige, very strong-willed. She has told, which is fine, which I enjoy. She tells me and Evan that we were going, and we went. And that's exactly fine. Do you guys ever have any kind of disagreements about what the sketch is going to look like and have artistic? Now's the time to get it out there. I want to mediate you two.
No, I love working with Paige. Like we started talking the first time, and after I think it was after the first one out, she was like, we have a lot more. And I was like, make me your girl, please. Don't pick anybody else. And we're easy to bounce ideas off each other, I think. And she's always there to check on me, make sure nobody's kidnapping me or anything out there. And it's perfect.
And again, we're here with Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman, Paint the Town on KDX AM 1590. Welcome to the Booth with Daren Todd. Paige, in talking a little bit about the September 6th Fall into Arts project, the program. I know I've been talking to other individuals about what's going on. You indicated that the Paint Talent Committee will be there. Is there any discussion about having a guided tour of the murals that are done here in town anytime during that festival, or is that something that I'm just throwing out there that I'm just making more work for you and your committee?
No, absolutely not. That has actually been discussed on the Fall into Arts Committee, how it would be very neat to maybe do that possibly next year. They have the historic homes tour that they've started as of last year, and so absolutely that has been brought up. And
again, I'm by no means part of the committee, nor am I trying to step on anybody's toes. Would it be possible for us to also get Katie to kind of come along, and she can kind of much like Graceland, we can have her give what she was thinking as she was painting this, and each stop could have an individual, listening session. I think that would be amazing because, again, I'm in total awe of her talent. I have zero artistic talent whatsoever. And just what she was thinking, painting a 60-hour mural or
I don't know if you want to know what I'm thinking.
a 20-hour mural, and saying, I'm 14 hours into this. When is this going to be over? Or
Well, like the Jonesboro one out in the sun, there was a point I was like, I'm about to start crying. This is so hot out here. But I just get so into it, and I'm listening to like YouTube videos and podcasts. Like I really am putting my all into it. And then once I go back and look at it, sometimes when I look at it, I think of what I was listening to then, like a crime video. I'm like, oh, I remember what happened in that video more than like what's going on actually in the painting.
And in talking to Katie Coleman and Paige Mcormick, Paint the Town, and Katie, the very talented artist, you talked a little bit about what you're listening to or what you're watching while you're doing this. Can the musical selection that you have at the time affect the way your art comes out?
I don't know if it affects how it comes out, but if you see me out there, what if I'm like crying? Someone's probably like, is she okay? But I'm just like getting into the music or what I'm listening to, you know?
And again, we're talking with Paige here. Paige, again, I could have swore it was January because it was super cold, but apparently it was May. You were out there every minute of the day. I saw you in that lawn. I think it was a reclining chair, and I'm like, what is Paige doing out there? 100% support the entire time. Is that correct?
Oh gosh, well, not the entire time.
Now, you don't have to sugarcoat it for us. I understand. It was every time I drove by, you were out there.
Was I? Okay, well, good. I feel like I need to be out there more, so we'll just go with that. But no, Katie, I'll tell you, if I had one word to describe her, she's a worker. She just is. She is, yeah, not just at the painting, but even at her job. I mean, she goes nonstop.
And again, we're here with Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman on Welcome to the Booth with Daren Todd on KDX AM 1590. And that's one thing that I will say, when I first contacted Katie, because I thought her work was amazing, and then I contacted you, Katie was like, well, I would like to do it, but I work every day of the week except Mondays. I'm always doing something.
Yes.
And it's amazing the work ethic for this young lady to have. And that's something to be very proud of. So we'd like to congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
So, Paige, and getting back to the September 6th Fall into the Arts program, that the Paint the Town Committee is going to be there. You indicated there's going to be a mural on the wall of the Opera House on the west side, close to the post office. It's going to be a time stamp mural.
A stamped timeline.
Why can I not get that
yes.
right?
That's okay.
A stamped timeline.
Right.
And it's going to be stamps of the different eras, and it's going to be sketched out by Miss Susan Baker,
Yes.
former art teacher here at Kennett. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it's going to be painted by Katie Coleman.
Yes.
And the committee, Paint the Town, is going to have numerous opportunities for the great citizens and people who come to donate to this project. Is that right?
Yes, you can donate. You can come by, T-shirt, tote bag. You can just tell us your ideas if you want. We'd be happy just to talk to you. So.
And there's going to be a little booth set up, and you indicated there's going to be tote bags, T-shirts, things of that nature. What do you see, or what is your plans for Paint the Town 5 years down the road? I know that's a long time, but where do you envision this going?
Well, we want to start with obviously the downtown first, and then as a committee just decide on where else that's going to lead us. We know that we have the 250th anniversary of our nation coming up, and we have talked about, of course, VFW. We have talked about even other locations downtown to kind of highlight that. But again, we want to start with downtown, and then kind of go from there. When we say paint the town, again, those are lofty goals, but we want to do as much painting as we can. So.
And in the event that I wanted to donate to Paint the Town, all the money goes back to the murals. Is that correct? Do you do anything?
All of it.
Okay,
yes.
I didn't know if there was ever some kind of idea of having some kind of art scholarship or something of that nature. But I think right now what you're focusing on is the betterment of the town through the murals and the painting on the walls. Is that correct?
We are. I like the idea of having maybe the high school art students, like they're going to have a booth beside us this year, and I think they're going to be able to watch Katie, and I love the idea of getting them involved and maybe even helping with some sketches in the future. I think that's a great idea, by the way.
And again, we're here with Katie Coleman and Paige Mcormick, Paint the Town. Katie is an artist from Dexter who's painted all over Dexter, surrounding areas, Kennett, Jonesboro. Katie, we talked a little bit about you've painted in schools there at Dexter. Is that correct?
Yes.
Other than the middle school, have you done anything else there at the Dexter schools?
I don't think so.
What about here in Kennett?
Have I done anything at the school? I'm trying to think, though. I'm going blank. I don't think I have, but I've got to do a lot of people's houses here since I've done the ones in Kennett, which I love.
And, I think it's always very whimsical or very interesting whenever someone comes in and says, hey, I've got a great idea for a nursery.
Yeah.
Have you done a lot of those?
I've done some nurseries. I've done a lot of kids' rooms, and some of them I've done here in Kennett have been like sports rooms. Like I've got to do like famous athletes. I can't name them for you, but
that's fine. And again, we're here with Katie Coleman and Paige Mcormick, Paint the Town on Welcome to the Booth with Daren Todd on KDX AM 1590. Is there something out there, Katie, that you really would like to do that you haven't been able to do in regards to painting to this point?
I mean, this is random, but I love Michael Jackson. I want to paint him on a wall. But who's good at, nobody really wants that. I don't think we don't live where he grew up or anything, but
So if someone's out there,
that's what I want to do.
Katie Coleman and Paige McCormick, as we've thrown down the gauntlet, Michael Jackson. Maureen, do you think we have any walls that might be available? Absolutely, we've got some. We will find those walls.
That'd be awesome.
Now, is it going to be more of a Michael Jackson Thriller era, or are we talking about the Jackson 5?
Any of the eras. I loved them in all of them.
We could do like a whole, I don't even know, like a different one for each. He could be ABC and 1, 2, 3, and then we could do
maybe like a fun timeline for that.
Yeah. We're gonna have to find a wall for that.
I would say he's definitely like my role model. Like I thought I had musical talent or anything, but him always saying like he was married to his work. I'm very married to my work.
And again, I appreciate Katie Coleman and Paige McCormick taking a little time out of their day. Welcome to the booth with Daren Todd and KDX AM 1590. We're again talking about Paint the Town. Paige, we've talked a lot about the paintings, the plan for the September 6th Fall into Arts program, our project, and a little bit about what's going to happen that day. We've talked a little bit about what you want to have happen down the road. What is your most favorite or best mural that's been painted so far? And I hate to make you pick, and I know I shouldn't put you on the spot, but is there a reason or some kind of special connection to you in regards to that?
They are all so different, which is fun, but if I had to pick, I think probably the first one, just because it was the first one. And that one was sketched by Marian Wright. She's on the committee, and it was, as beautifully done as you could without being an artist, and we've teased her about it. But Katie took just those simple sketches and just pulled all of that out of it, and I was just... Like I told you before, I laughed a little bit, freaking out, but then just amazed when she started bringing it out.
And again, we're here with Paige McCormick and Katie Coleman, Paint the Town, and Katie's the very talented artist that's made all the sketches and ideas. I'm going to lay it out there that Paige McCormick and the committee has come up with. We're very lucky that Paige and the committee has decided to do this, and it's really beautifying the city, and we're very thankful for that. Again, I can't say this enough. If you're wanting to be a sponsor, if you're wanting to donate a wall, how would we do that, Paige?
Yeah, just you can contact one of the members that I mentioned, and find our Facebook page is the easiest way to find the members, or you can feel free to message me. You can text me, you can message me on Facebook, whatever's easiest.
And again, we're here with Paige McCormick and Katie Coleman. Paige, I hate to put you on the spot, but I like to ask you tough questions because you always have answers. Of the 8 actual locations, do we know the addresses of all those locations, or do I need to look on Paint the Town Facebook page to try to do that?
Oh, just to go by and see them?
Yes.
I don't know the exact ones. I would say your best bet is if you hit Main Street, you're going to be fine. But they're all downtown.
Right.
I mean, primarily, except for Truly Posh. So, but again, if you keep, of course, going east, you're going to run in from downtown. You're going to run into that one as well. So. And
obviously, there's the one on the Truly Posh building there on that's First Street, isn't it? First Street, and then you get to the square. There's one on the License Bureau here in the middle of town. Is that correct?
Right.
There's one on Downtown Bistro, which is the one that we talked about a little bit, and then the alleyway there between the Haywood Beauty Salon.
Yes.
And
I know.
That
I was
alley.
trying to think. It's Megan Parker's new boutique.
Yeah.
Can't think of the name. But
And
yes.
there's numerous, and there. So again, and our plan is, and I'm going to put you on the spot. Not this year, but next year, we're going to have an actual tour that's going to show all the murals, and Katie's going to have a little podcast that you're going to go with you to explain what she was thinking when she did it. Correct?
Oh, absolutely. We'll have to get that rolling.
Okay. Well, Mooring is going to be in charge of that podcast. He enjoys doing that tremendously. When we're not running 5Ks, as we indicated earlier, we're also into podcasts. Isn't that right? Yeah. Absolutely. So, again, we're here with Welcome to the Booth with Daren Todd on KDX AM 1590. And I'm joined by two special guests, Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman. Katie, talk a little bit about some of your favorite murals that you've ever painted. And again, I know this is kind of like asking a parent who is your favorite child.
Yeah.
And just kind of, go out on a limb. If you had to say, this is what I would submit to somebody and saying, this is what Katie Coleman and what my art looks like or how I interpret things, what would you want us to look at?
Well, I feel like there's two versions of the question. Like, based off what I think, like, this looks good, this is what I can do, I would say some of the ones I did in Stogies of Sykeston. It's a cigar shop, and inside the building, I've done celebrities that were smoking cigars, so like Michael Jordan, Jennifer Aniston, I forgot the other guy's name, and then Rihanna. They all had cigars and they were smoking, and so I like doing people. So I'd be like, "There's that," but just like nothing to do with talent, but just the people that were involved in everything. I would say in Dexter, the Lighthouse Church. When I did that one, I've done so many walls inside the whole building, and they were just so sweet to me, giving me breakfast, lunch. They paid to get my wisdom teeth cut out. Like, they're just really sweet people, and getting to do it all and meet all the people that I really love doing that too.
And again, the one thing that we talked about, and here we're with Katie Coleman and Paige Mcormick from Paint the Town, and Katie's the artist that's been bringing the things to life. The one thing that we're still looking for is a wall for the Michael Jackson mural.
If I've got to do Michael Jordan and those people, why not? Why not Michael Jackson?
We'll trust Paige.
There you go.
So Paige, and again, we've had a lot of fun here today, and we're kind of winding up. We're talking a lot about the Paint the Town and the importance, first of all, of the committee members. I know you can't say enough about all they've done to help you in regards to this matter. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're all, they all just, to me, they all bring their own strengths. Marianne also has an architect background, and so she will get out there with us the Thursday night before. Of course, Katie starts drawing, and just make sure that it's just measured to a T. Everything's lined up, and I just, I can't appreciate that. Well, it's just very much appreciated. So,
and again, we're here with Paige Mcormick and Katie Coleman. Welcome to the booth on KDX AM 1590 with Daren Todd, talking about the Paint the Town project. And again, I can't emphasize this enough. September 6th, downtown Kennett, we're going to have the Fall into Arts Festival, and we're going to have Katie painting a live mural during the situation. So, who came up with that idea?
That's a good question. Did we come up with that?
I feel like it was you.
Katie and I may have, I don't know, we may have been talking one day when I was supervising and came up with that. So.
And again, we're going to paint. It's being sketched out by Susan Baker, a longtime art teacher here in the Kennett. And there will be a booth for Paint the Town. If you want to get on the website, the Facebook page. I always say website. I don't know why I do that. The Facebook page, they can contact anyone, and they can donate if there's any kind of building owners that want to donate.
Yeah, and you don't have to just contact us if you just want to donate without having that sponsorship. There is an actual website on the Facebook page, and you can, of course, donate through there.
I should have known better. I should not have assumed. You know what happens when we assume. So what is the website? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's a link. It's on there. It's again one of those long links. I couldn't. It's on runsignup.com is where the walk run is located. But.
And let's talk a little bit more about the walk run. Explain to the people, like Morgan will be there. We're also going to do a turkey trot in Bloomfield. We've signed up for a turkey trot. We are not dressing up like turkeys. tell us a little bit more about the run, the walk, the color walk.
Yeah. It's like I said, color walk or run, whatever you prefer. We'll start at the bistro, downtown bistro, and you'll get to see all the murals on this run. It's the same route as last year if you did it last year, but you'll have different stations where we'll have different groups, like the middle school cheerleaders are the first ones. We'll have the high school teachers, second ones. We'll have a group of students. Anyway, splash you with color if you so choose, but it will sort of take you on that tour, like we talked about a second ago, of all the murals. And you will finish under a big, balloon arch, get your picture. We'll have trophies to pass out to you, just some fun ones. And then you can, of course, make your way over to the festival because it starts at 10 o'clock. So.
And again, what time does the run start?
Oh, good question. The run starts at 9:30, and so you can register for that before, or you can wait. You can wait until about 9:15. We'll have people with iPads there. They'll help you get registered and all that fun stuff.
And again, we're here with Paint the Town, Paige Mcormick, Katie Coleman, the artist that's made it come to life on Welcome to the Booth with Daren Todd, KDX AM 1590. And we're winding down. Is there any last thing that you would like to tell anyone about Paint the Town and what we need to look forward to in the next 4 or 5 years in regards to that, Paige?
I would just say, if ever you have ideas, and I think I've said this before earlier, but gosh, please don't hesitate. Reach out, and I keep thinking I'm going to create something on Facebook to where you can put those. But we'd love to hear from you because we're one committee. And it's a town deal. So if you ever have any ideas, reach out and let us know. And
we will do that. And Katie, we're going to wrap up here with you today. We appreciate you taking your time to come see us today, and we appreciate your artistic abilities very much. And we thank you for what you've done, all painting here in Kennett and all through the area. Tell me a little bit about what you're thinking before this September 6th, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday painting that you're going to do.
I'm excited. I'm so grateful for all that Kennett has done for me, getting to paint these outside and then all the ones I've got to do inside. I'm so glad that everybody wants work from me and everything. And I'm excited for this one. We're going to get to talk the ideas after this, so I'll get to know what they're thinking. And I'm just hoping it's not cold. I know it's supposed to drop down soon. I get cold so easily.
It's not going to be cold.
I know everybody's excited for the cold, but I think September last year I was doing the Truly Posh one and I was bundled up for a little bit. I was cold.
We can only hope. Yeah. And again, we're here with Katie Coleman and Paige Mcormick, Paint the Town. And again, last word, if anyone is interested in hiring Katie to do any work or just wants to see what she's done, she can get on their Facebook page, Katie Coleman Facebook page. All of her amazing artwork's on there, her time-lapse videos, even her cool art, her sidewalk chalk where she does some great sayings and things of that nature, all on there. Extremely talented lady. You need to reach out to Katie Coleman. You also need to reach out to Paige McCormick or anyone on the Paint the Town committee to make a donation and to keep this going. And again, before we get off, we're waiting on one wall, and we're going to do a Michael Jackson montage. And that's going to be my mission here. And again, this is Daren Todd on KDX AM 1590. Welcome to the booth. And on behalf of my producer, Maureen Johnson, and my executive producer, Evan Todd, I'd like to thank you for making us part of your day. I hope you have a good afternoon and a better tomorrow. Thank you.